Ready for the tea on Sleeping Beauty? Because I don't think you are. Right. So, in every version of the story that I have found, before the Brothers Grimm's version, and I think the earliest one recorded is back in 1330 something, between 1330 something, 1340, doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, they all sort of start out the same: wise men or fairies or wise women, somebody special, prophesy that the princess who has just been born is going to grow up beautiful and then hurt herself somehow and die. She finds the thing, she hurts herself, but doesn't die. She falls asleep for 100 years. This is where the story gets real creepy. So a king or prince goes wandering through the forest, usually hunting or something, sees her on her bed, bears the first fruits of love, and wanders off again. Meaning that she later gives birth to twins, still asleep, by the way, which is how I would have preferred to give birth, thanks. And one of the twins sucks the flax or spindle or splinter, or not spindle, or splinter or whatever out of her finger where she pricked it. And she wakes up and she's like, hey, I'm alone in the middle of the woods with two babies and a lot of mess between my legs. And the king or prince ends up finding her and the twins and is like, oh, hey, look what I did, and brings all three of them back to his castle or his home. And either he already had a wife or his mom is an ogress. Either way, there's an opposing female figure at this house, and she's like, I'm not having this. And so she goes to the cook and she says, listen, I want you to cook up these children and feed them to the king. And the cook is like, okay. And then he substitutes a goat or a lamb or whatever for each of the children. And then she tries to have the young princess or queen killed or whatever. And the cook, also valiant hero of this story, hides her as well. King comes home, or prince or whatever, finds out what happens and throws this opposing woman, who is either his mother or his wife, actual wife, to the same fate that she suggested, without the cannibalism generally. And then they live happily ever after? I don't know. The fairy tales before Grimm were really grim.